Alrighty.
And
Some cars just
Shaboom,
went by
we are
that I guess
live.
were impatient at each other.
Okay.
It is Boston.
It do be.
Or cities. Cities are just like that in general.
Yeah, there's a really wacky little intersection right near me where one of the streets goes like whoop, and then the other street just goes whoop, and people honk at each other a lot. Is the TLDR?
That was the most descriptive thing I've ever heard in my life.
I can. You painted a perfect picture, Tony.
Oh my god, it was vivid.
Thank you.
Technicolor. It was wonderful. But yes, so, oh yeah, by the way, we are live, we are recording. Yes.
Hello, friends on the internet.
And just real quick, hello, ladies and gentlemen, anybody who happens to be watching. You may be thinking, oh my god, this isn't the usual stream setup. No, this is a new thing. If you just accidentally tripped and fell onto your computer and opened up a random video, this is a new game by RulebookOptional whose current running name is Allatour, Winding Roads and Wine of Plenty. I am joined here by, and just say hello when I call your name, I'm joined here by Tony Parmesan, a good friend of mine.
Hello.
I'm joined here by Kate.
Hi.
And Darby.
That's me. Hi.
And Moss. And trying to jump scare you. And my name is Drew. And this is gonna be the start of a brand new adventure, which is super cool. And you know, we just like hanging out and stuff before we begin play. But this is gonna be a soap opera kind of lighter stakes vibe than Palm in the Fist, because, and trust me, it's gonna be so funny because the last like 3 Palm in the Fist sessions have just been horror. The vibes, the stakes could not be lighter. Honestly, the vibes could not be lighter. So it's gonna be a great time as we're gonna kind of just hang around for a little bit before we hop into
horror
it.
Going around here is the one with the W in front of it.
But yes, I'm so excited for tonight. This is gonna be so much fun.
Excuse me.
Yes!
That was
Exceptional.
spectacular. Thank
And you know what?
Excellent.
Okay, Kate, I know we kind of like spread the work around for RulebookOptional. If you would like to go back through our streams and make a burp compilation, that'd be phenomenal. I know you
Honestly, yeah.
you floated that idea.
Yeah, I honestly will.
If you give me timestamps, I will dig up the footage and then just make like the longest YouTube short of all time.
Oh, help. We can all take
do
a few
that.
episodes.
I can't wait for it
Yeah.
to just be like,
Oh, God.
We're gonna become
Or like, we're just ranking all the burps.
we're gonna become
burp tier list
synthesizers from
stream.
living on a
The
prayer.
alcohol
Your
campaign.
burp tier list. Oh, Jesus.
S tier, A tier.
Man.
Whoever does the most burps gets inspiration for the session.
That be always
Yes, that's
you.
right. Honestly, yeah, that we should do that. Yeah, burp inspiration.
We need to
We're
work it in
making
somehow, because it's
ourselves
not. I know it's mainly me, but it's not just me.
No, it is absolutely not.
Oh, and also a brand new fun thing, in case you guys, in case anybody missed it, is that the chat is now visible during the stream. So if any
Oh,
meme,
it is?
yeah. So if any, if you look
Zoom,
at the center,
Twitch chat.
Twitch
Twitch
chat. So if there are any funny memes you want to do, hopefully those within the Zoom currently will use the Twitch chat to just kind of like communicate their hilarious
Memes?
ideas. But if anybody joins or if anybody says what's up, we are going to be able to see it, and we are so happy you're watching us. So thank you so much.
Da-da-da-da.
Yeah, a lot of Witcher music was listened to in preparation for this game.
Oh, excellent.
Nice.
Also, if you haven't, spoilers for Last of Us 2, by the way, if you haven't seen the Fat Geralt meme, I would recommend looking it up. That shit slaps.
I don't think that's a spoiler. If you don't know what you're looking for, it's not.
Yeah,
a spoiler.
that is true. To paint an accurate picture, a fat Geralt of Rivia punches a 12-year-old in the face, and then
Wait,
Witcher
that's
music blares.
I never. The amount of times you guys have mentioned it, I never realized that wasn't that man's real like canon name.
That was,
It's not. He's like Merc 1 or
Yeah.
Merc leader. Or
his
something
name is
like that.
Travis Willingham, something like that.
Yeah, that's Travis voices.
Yeah.
I love how you don't know who Travis Willingham is, even though he's literally on Critical Role.
No,
CEO of Critical Role.
I know his first name just fine. I just don't know his. How often do you say
His last name is Bailey. His last name is
His
Bailey.
last
name is
He
Bailey.
took her name.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
No. Well, the only person whose like last name from that show that I know like concretely is Matt Mercer, because all I know is the meme. Shut up, Matt Mercer, or no one cares, Matt Mercer.
No one cares, Matt Mercer.
Kill him. Loot his vest.
I care.
Take his corpse. Loot his corpse. Take his vest.
Take his vest.
Oof.
Okay. I'm gonna switch out my headphones, so BRB.
Go ahead, take your time.
I'm gonna take my sweatshirt off.
All good, not a problem. And so we just vibe.
Not in a weird way. Not in a weird way. I didn't mean it. Like, I'm gonna strip on camera.
We don't need views that badly. Well,
gonna take this off camera.
Do you guys know about like hot tub streamers? You guys know about that?
I have heard of that.
Really?
Take your sweatshirt off. Not in a weird way. Where it's just people in hot tubs just looking hot and just hanging out, and they just make like a bunch of money. And honestly, no one's ever
I
done
respect the hustle.
No one's ever done hot tub D&D before. So
Oh shit. You're right.
Until us.
it would just mean that we each have to buy individual hot tubs to do it.
We get so pruny.
Also, all of the electronics, I am not a graceful human being. They are going in the tub the second I lose my balance.
The dice are going in the tubs if we're using
The dice,
physical
you have to
dice.
dive every time you use the dice and roll them on the bottom of the tub.
Use like a
No trade.
all
Right
have,
in the
like,
water.
This sounds
Two
like a
tight
SeaWorld
goggles
exhibit.
pressed to our faces. Just like,
Hot tub D&D
Okay,
I
so
rolled
that
a
was
20.
sexy. It is
that was
not
not 20. I
sexy
think.
at all.
Hold on.
It's just a bunch of wet, confused people electrocuting themselves.
I think
What
that's the
better
on
way?
brand for us.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, hey, that's the thing. It would be unique and be eye-catching. We would only make one video, and then we'd all die of electricity shocks. But
I like the idea that we're all fully submerged, so we're having like the conversation at the game, but all the viewers can hear is like.
wait, that implies that we would not only be hot tub streamers, we'd be scuba diving streamers as well.
Yes.
Just like snorkeling up.
Yes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think that
Exactly.
sounds like an excellent idea.
Oh, absolutely.
Nothing can go wrong.
Drew, if you were looking for a starting point, I have a little tiny bottle of prosecco that I can pop to
Ooh.
to get started. I am above 21. I am
Yes.
above the age of 21.
Yes.
Twitch.
Also-
Everyone here is above the age.
And I might cut out all the middle parts of this because like, you just want to get the announcements out of the way. To everybody that is watching this, the vibes of Palm in the Fist really much are like shotgunning a Red Bull and then running a marathon, just with the amount of just random shit that happens. This is going to be much more chill than that. This is going to be more like, hey, get cuddled up, get real nice and comfortable with like comfy clothes and a blanket, light a fire if you have a fireplace. If you don't have a fireplace, don't set stuff on fire. That's weird. And then just...
And we
Commit
can't tell you
arson.
what to do.
If you exactly
commit arson.
If you are over the age of 21, get a nice glass of wine or like just a drink, and then just chill out with us. Play some D&D. We're happy to have you here. So those are the vibes. But with all of that, anything else that people want to say before we hop right into it?
Check us out on TikTok and Instagram at RulebookOptional
Yes,
And YouTube.
and YouTube.
and YouTube.
If you get sleepy and have to go to sleep, they'll be up on YouTube soon.
If you get sleepy and have to go to
Soon.
sleep, our screaming voices will definitely just soothe you.
We'll lull you to sleep.
Exactly.
Put us on.
Mhm.
ASMR D&D stream, I think comes after the hot tub stream.
There's gonna be a stealth
Yes.
mission in this game where we all have to whisper the whole time. It'll be like.
ASMR.
I distract the guards by tickling my nails on the microphone. Just fucking like scratch it. Yeah.
I distract the guards by pulling pins out of my microphones. Like, oops.
You hear my dice? I don't know where the microphone is in my laptop.
I can hear him.
God sees you and says, "Hey, what the fuck are you doing? Get up!
The Lord is sleeping.
Fucking kill you!"
Sneak attack.
Damage. Oh, you're dead.
Everybody roll initiative. Exactly. There's no time to mourn. You have to move now.
Throw. You are fucking dead.
Well, and I also love, like, because, and speaking of, like, ASMR D&D, I realized, like, through watching back through all the stream footage to edit it for YouTube, my mic picks up dice really well for some reason. No idea why.
It sounds great.
Nice.
Any other announcements before we hop right into it?
No.
No, and no. Then I got one question for everybody. Do we all want to play some D&D?
No!
Yes.
Fuck, goodbye.
Stream over. Boop, boop. I'm ready.
I
Yes,
hadn't
yes.
considered that anyone might say that.
It's like, well, Drew, are you really anticipating a no option here? We've all been sitting here like for fucking 45 minutes.
No,
I
ends
hadn't
at the
planned
call,
for this.
leaves the Discord server.
Oh wow.
I'm Allatour now.
Oh no!
I
Okay.
am the cleric.
But with all of that, if we are all ready to play, how
Wait,
about-
you have to put us back home.
I do? Wait, how am I? Oh,
I'm
wait.
not. I'm on the wrong side of the screen. There,
Oh,
we,
there
go.
we go. Okay, excellent. But with all of that, how about a deep and cleansing breath, and then we can hop right into it. Sound good?
Yeah.
All right, everybody, please join me. And now we can all just relax because everything after the breath is canon, and again, low stakes, chill game. But let's begin. In order to begin, I think it's appropriate that we all go on a bit of a journey. So close your eyes, if you will, and delve deep into your own imagination and maybe even your own memories.
I'm gonna go into my mind palace.
Imagine the smells of freshly baked bread as a relaxing summer rain patters against your windows. Picture a cozy fire crackling in a hearth as you cuddle up onto a couch with a warm blanket and comfortable clothes. Remember the best meal you've ever had. Not just the food, but the company you were with, the jokes that were shared, the bonds that were strengthened because of the time you spent together. And as we focus on these things, I would like to welcome everyone to the nation of Allatour. It is oftentimes... No, I'm not even close to being done, and I apologize. War is oftentimes said to be the failure of statecraft. This is true. But Allatour is a nation where statecraft has succeeded. And although you can still find issues within Allatour, as you could within any nation, the issues found within Allatour are not violent uprisings, power struggles, or foreign invaders. Rather, the issues plaguing Allatour can be summarized as unfaithful spouses, unplanned children, and unknown creatures lurking in the dead of night. This is a land of noble knights, extravagant tournaments, duels, passion, romance, love, and adventure. And as we begin to gently fly across the rolling green hills of Allatour, we come to the section of this nation located to the west of the capital city of Jumelage, the land known as Dugard. From here, we raise high into the sky. We are able to see the frankly overwhelming dwellings of 5 of the 6 noble families of Allatour. There are the towering Pavel estates emerging from their vast roaming grounds of grass, and the Dubois d'Ebonais tucked away into their grand rocks and trees and webs, each built along either side of the river known as the Abundance Waters. And to the north of that, there is Merchant's Bay, surrounded by both LaCroix Manor, a collection of tall beach mansions, and Chateau Renoir, a place of ivory and emeralds surrounded by fields of wheat, olive trees, and fertile land. And finally, we have Bassett Palace, carved into the vast cliffside overlooking the northernmost sea. And it's in these 5 dwellings that we will begin our adventure, where our noble heroes will meet one another, and where this wonderful adventure shall begin. You guys ready?
Oh, yes.
Yes, 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 and yes. Kate,
Yeah.
a gentle warm wind flies us back over towards LaCroix Manor. The smell of citrus and fresh fruits. It's overwhelming. And it's almost overwhelmed by the taste of sugary sweets lingering in the air. The townsfolk living amongst these manors go about their daily duties, catching fish and picking fruits and keeping a watchful eyes on their children gleefully playing in the sea. Scattered around the crescent shape of the bay, one can see the docks built to house dozens of ships at a time, all of them offloading cargo or taking cargo on as money and goods change hands so quickly you could blink and a metric ton of wine would have disappeared before your very eyes. We fly our way up towards the central mansion overlooking Merchant's Bay, up to the 4th floor, and into a corner room through a slightly open window, past swaying silk curtains, as we focus on a figure resting in a wide, queen-sized feather bed. Kate, as the clouds move, the unobstructed sun shines through this window and illuminates your character's face. And with a slight wince, your eyes open. And Kate, will you please describe your character to us?
Of course. Slowly rousing from her bed, you see a broad-shouldered figure, still quite large as she brings herself to a sitting position, but standing at over 6 feet tall. You see an ASMR woman, long black hair, almost even out of bed is perfectly falls behind her shoulders, twinges of red at the tips, deep purple eyes, a long scar across her nose, stopping almost directly in the center of her face. Not done quite yet, but currently dressed in simple sleepwear, nothing fancy. You see Sherry.
Sherry, as the morning sun awakens you. Mm-hmm. There are 2 ways we can go about this. You can skip over any detail you don't think is necessary. Do you want to give us a description of what your room would look like, what your personal quarters would be?
Yeah. I think Sherry's room is probably the least extravagant room in LaCroix Manor, is where we are. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would be the least extravagant. Does not ask for much. Is also probably the smallest room in the castle, which doesn't say much, but very bare bones. Really didn't want to change much about it. There's the bed in the center of the room, silk curtains covering the windows, lot of empty floor space. There's like a very extravagant fur rug somewhere in the room. At the foot of the bed, there is a chest where she keeps her own personal belongings, and those are locked with a key that only she has. Yeah, not much to touch on. She really likes to keep, obviously very organized, but likes to keep a lot of floor space.
Okay, makes a lot of sense. And Sherry, as you begin to awaken, as you said, as you sit up, you realize that today is the day that the LaCroix family is going to be traveling east, for it is harvest day in but a fortnight, and the journey must begin today. You have done almost all preparations, but what would Sherry's morning routine look like as this task is falling upon you?
Treats it no different than any other day. Gets up, and the reason for the expansive floor space in her room is that so she has enough room to begin stretching, loosening all of her joints from a long night's rest, muscles working, visibly working as she stretches, does a good amount of push-ups, sit-ups, as per her morning routine. We'll get dressed in a high-necked black turtleneck tunic, and dons her armor, which is a red scale mail armor that extends down her arms and stops at the middle of her middle fingers, and goes all the way down her body. The shoulders are spiked up a bit, and again, like black plain clothes underneath, and black like black outdoorsy boots on her feet, with also a twinge of scale mail at the heels, kind of like forming a wing at the bottom. Will don her great sword, which has a reddish goldish hilt, sheathes it at her back, and will make her way downstairs, grab a small bite to eat, just grab like a piece of fruit or something, and then will make her way to the training grounds, where she is always the first one there before any of her nights.
Before the morning dew has even evaporated off of some of the small pockets of grass around the almost barren training ground, you're able to see targets in the distance. You're able to see almost like armless, like straw mannequins set up to practice sword play. You're able to see different like heavy stones and logs based for like lifting exercises. What kind of physical activity would Sherry get up to?
Also, I wanted to add part of her morning routine before she sets out is polishing her sword, making sure it's up to the best quality that it is. She would start with some lifting exercises, and then move into, I think she would make her way through all of them. Start with archery. It's not what she's known for, but it's always good to have another set of skills in combat. Has a crossbow on her as well that she uses to practice archery. Then makes her way to the lifting exercises, and then she finishes with what she is best at, and that is sword training with her great sword.
As you are just kind of, I'll let you choose if you want to do archery or a great sword training. Give me an attack roll for one of those two weapons.
I'll do my sword. 16.
For a 16, you are able to describe to me how Sherry would like, because again, you understand like every morning new dummies are placed into like, with the intention of being destroyed in training. How would Sherry, as you kind of, you breathe easily, you settle in, you have your great sword in hand, and you square up to this training dummy in front of you, how would Sherry dispatch this training dummy?
She'll hold, she'll back up a few paces, hold her great sword out so that the tip is touching the chest of this dummy to like size it up space-wise. We'll take the sword back to herself, and just take a moment to center herself, and then take a step back, spin around, swing towards the dummy, and almost with her eyes closed, but she opens them at the last moment, cleaves the head off of this dummy.
You watch as effortlessly your sword passes through the dummy, and as the viscera of spilled straw spills across the training grounds, the head rolls away. You are then actually able to hear, as you strike down your opponent mercilessly, you're able to hear a golf clap as you're able to look up to the observation deck of one of the hallways of the training ground, where you are able to see, as you would know him well, the Duke LaCroix. You are able to see Sir Georges LaCroix, who says, "You are the slayer of straw, Sherry. The fields will not know what hits them."
Immediately upon seeing him, I kneel and bow my head to him, my sword in the dirt.
As you take a knee, put your sword into the dirt. This man here, again, long red hair. He wears a silvered crown, colorful clothing, an ornate sword at his back. You're able to see he has a monocle on, big bushy eyebrows, a well-tempered beard. Truly a very handsome man within his 60s. Says, "Oh, Sherry, what are you doing? There's one behind you, coming right for you."
I pick my head up. "It is customary greeting, my lord."
As he begins to descend the steps towards the training ground, as he's walking up to you, he says, "Sherry, we've been over this many times. We are more than simply Duke and Captain of Guard. We are friends, my friend."
Yes, but it would be wrong for someone of my station to address you with such familiarity. I do not want people to think you gave me this title for uncouth reasons.
As he walks up to you to come and put a hand on your shoulder, you are taller than this man, are you not?
Yes.
By a significant degree, are you not?
Yes, over 6 feet tall. Is she?
Big, honestly, just a tank of a woman. As Georges walks up to you and goes, "Then let the people talk. There is a reason that human beings walk amongst the grass and snakes must slither in between the little strands."
Of course, my liege.
Of course, but please continue. I do think that it is important to display strength in case of any kind of Hey Gollum uprising. I must begin making sure the servants are awakening the children. But please continue to enjoy yourself.
Thank you. Is there anything I can do for you in this moment?
If you would like to, as he kind of like just like thinks to himself, I'm gonna roll real quick. He looks at you, and just a flat luck check goes. If you would prefer to go and perhaps I can begin with the youngest and you can begin with the oldest and we can work our way to the middle from there. If you would like to wake up Palm, then I would be able to start off with Coco and then we could meet in the middle.
If you think that would be best, my lord, then yes, of course.
Then it is off with us. But let me wake up my darling wife first.
Yes, of course, and please bid her a good morning from me.
As he heel turns, he goes, "Absolutely. Let's hope she got a good night's sleep." As he walks off and goes, "It is traveling today." As he turns back, looks at you, gives you a smile, and goes, "Let's all be excited."
Of course.
Georges LaCroix walks back into the establishment, kind of claps his hands. Several servants kind of run up to him, and you realize now that, like, kind of as the morning begins to progress, people begin kind of running throughout the training grounds, not getting in your way at all, but servants carrying, butchers and cobblers and wardrobers and people of that sort, kind of rushing materials around, kind of getting carts and carriages ready for a grand excursion out eastward towards the capital.
I very much try to stay out of their way.
They give you a wide. You are training with a sharpened blade. They give you a wide berth in the training ground.
But even so, I am like giving them an even wider berth as they are running around me.
You kind of like look over and you see like an 18-year-old like servant boy carrying like jugs of milk look over at you, and then like he takes a step back, and then you take a step back, and then he takes a step back, and then you take a step back. I'm not interrupting, am I?
No, do you need help with that?
he looks at as he's intimidated by your large stature.
Please allow me. There are many tasks to do, and I take the jugs from him easily.
As you take kind of like the jugs of milk kind of like up the stairs for him, you are able to watch as Saint-Pierre turns the corner and almost runs into you. Give me a quick dexterity saving throw as you almost collide together.
It's only a 12.
It's a 12? Give me 1 second here. As you kind of turn the corner, you're able to watch as an older man, gray hair, eye patch on, like 5 o'clock stubble beard, mustache, the whole thing. Again, very well armed, in like leather armor, dagger and sword and the like, turns the corner and the milk splatters all over yourself and himself as he goes, Sherry, what do you think you're doing?
I deepest apologies, sir. I was helping out one of the servants. I should have been looking where I was going. My deepest apologies.
Give me a quick insight check as he responds to you. Give me 1 second.
With... It's a nat 1.
That's a nat 1. He hates you.
First of the game!
He goes, I would not expect the captain of the guard to be carrying milk bottles up a flight of stairs. Were you not training in the grounds?
I was given orders by the Duke to help rouse the children, and I noticed this young man needed some help, so I provided it.
He looks down and goes, he looks at the servant boy and goes, well then, boy, you should be thankful to get such impressive help. Now run off along, child. And the servant boy goes, yes, sir. And then quickly just kind of moves further into with the remaining spilled milk as he begins to weep over it. As he rushes off. Saint-Pierre crosses his arms and goes, now, Sherry, I must ask you, have you make sure all of the horses have been tended to intact for the long journey ahead?
Yes, of course, sir.
But of course, is the first thing to make sure that is assured for a long journey. But what of the armaments? Have you made sure the guards have been all trained and kept away from any ne'er-do-wells?
Yes, of course, sir.
Well, of course you would have thought of that as well, but no one could possibly have remembered the fact that you must make sure all maps have been updated, and all hunting logs updated as well.
I have, sir. Have you?
But of course I have. I simply wanted to make sure that in your noviceness of this position, that it was properly maintained for the safety of the Duke and the Duchess.
Yes, of course, which is what we are both working towards.
But of course. Well, Sherry, then I'm going to go make sure that the guardsmen have properly cleaned their uniforms, swords, and armament of the like, and make sure they are in position, ready to ride out. But, of course...
I bow my head to him and say, of course, sir. I will see you on the road.
He looks to you and goes, and then he walks past you. As he descends down to the training grounds, heading out of a large gated walkway. As you have now left the training grounds, your morning routine kind of concluded. How would Sherry go about herself now that her maintenance of her physical form has now concluded?
I think would immediately go to follow the Duke's orders, since they are to meet in the middle, would head towards the Lady Palm's room.
As you make your way, like snaking through the corridors of LaCroix Manor, a vast mansion, hustle and bustle as people are running all about, you come to the ornately gilded doorway leading into Palm LaCroix's room, still closed and locked.
I knock once, twice fast, and then once again.
Ooh, give me a sleight of hand check with advantage.
With nat 20.
Nat 20, excellent.
You got both in the game! Got that one!
Both in the game, let's see.
One right after the other,
twice.
right?
That's
yes.
a nat 1 to a nat 20, yeah.
Yeah!
It's gonna be a good fucking game.
You're not just flipping a coin, are you?
As you As you do that pattern of knocking, immediately you're able to see a small little peephole go from darkened to light. As you then hear, a massive lock turns over, and the door then slowly begins to open. As you are then greeted by Palm LaCroix, who quickly, kind of with her hand, ushers you into the room.
I quickly make sure that no one's coming down the hallway as I slip inside.
As you slip inside, you are greeted with Palm LaCroix, a beautiful woman, 36 years of age, lighter red hair, adorned in her finest fashion, getting prepared for a long journey headed east, but one where appearances are very, very important. As you are quickly pulled into the room by her, you are able to hear her say, "Oh, Sherry, what a pleasant surprise." There is a moment where you two are standing maybe a foot, 2 feet apart. What do you do?
I close the distance so that we are not too close to the door. If there is anyone listening, even clearing that distance, I will lean down and whisper, "I did not think I would be so lucky as to see you before we traveled."
Oh, but of course, Sherry. In what world do you think I would allow you to go on your journey without first coming to say goodbye?
Yes, of course, but it happened so that your father tasked me with waking yourself and as well as your siblings. I did not think my day would work out so well.
Well, I must say I am still a bit groggy from last night's sleep. If only there was something that could wake me up.
I put a hand on the back of her neck and say, "Do you wish to talk about straw golems at this moment?"
As a perfectly manicured hand comes up and just brushes hair out of your face and runs a thumb over your cheek, she goes,
"I think they are completely fictitious, so no, not particularly."
As very gently, her head approaches yours to kiss you.
I lean down so that she does not have to stand up so far, and I kiss her.
A deep, long, passionate kiss between Palm LaCroix and Sherry. As a second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds pass, as then she pulls away and looks at you. Beautiful eyelashes blink twice. You can feel the slight breeze of them on your face as she then kind of looks to you and goes,
"Do you have somewhere to be?"
I have been tasked with waking the other children. Your father has taken the youngest and is working his way up. I am to meet him in the middle, but who's to say it may have taken longer than I expected.
The same hand that brushed across your face is placed on the center of your chest, as you can just kind of give me a quick Constitution saving throw.
The 7.
A 7. You feel your heart begin to beat very, very strongly in your chest.
She is fully dressed at the moment.
Yes, she is fully dressed.
Right. And is the bed made or no?
You look back and it seems that like servants have already kind of moved their way through the room and kind of clear. Like you're able to see like a discarded plate, like a silver platter for breakfast, but her bed has already been remade with like the 16 pillows that nobles always have. The whatever small clothes, whatever kind of nightwear that she was wearing has long been taken to be laundered, things like that.
Silently apologizing to the servants who will have to take care of this. I hook a hand under her knees and scoop her up and bring her to bed.
As you scoop up Palm LaCroix and take her over to her bed, as the sheets of the bed begin to be disrupted once again, we're going to fade to black away from there. And however much time you deem appropriate, Kate, we then come to rejoin Sherry and Palm as, the first 45 minutes of the game, already immediately.
Sherry's just that powerful.
Honestly, yeah. She has the ultimate riz.
She's got game.
As you're able to hear like the as you're able to watch as after all of this, you are both kind of looking at each other as she is pushing any wrinkles out of her clothes with her hands and putting on her ornate necklaces once again as you are kind of like donning your scale mail once again. Wrist. I'm gonna get a restraining order. Homie, type in the Twitch chat so we can have this shit like live on stream. As that happens, as you two are kind of getting yourselves situated once again, you are able to then hear on the door a knock.
I look at Palm silently, like communicating, like you or me.
She kind of like starts going to the door as you start going to the door. Like,
just like, silently communicating, like, I hide or.
You see, she takes the little kind of like golden latch of the peephole, looks through it, as she goes, "Oh yes." She then like unlatches the door and opens it, and it is a simple like washerwoman there. No one of standing. As she goes,
Yes, Marguerite, how can I help you?
As a woman goes, I mean, kind of looks past, sees you, Sherry, and goes, I was told to come and try to find Sherry. We have a bit of an incident with Con LaCroix.
I apologize for keeping you waiting. I will follow you. I'll follow you at once. And I turn to Palm and say, "My lady, I will see you with the traveling group."
She looks to you and goes,
Yes, of course. And thank you once again for the private viol lessons. I had no idea you were so talented.
Of course. It is my duty to protect and educate the children of House LaCroix. And bow my head to her, and I follow the servant.
As you follow the servant, as you make your way again, saying through the halls, the rooms wrapping around this vast complex, the washerwoman, Marguerite, explains to you and goes, we are having a bit of an issue accessing Khan's room. For some reason, we are unable to find the master keys. We've been banging on his door, but it is 11 o'clock and we leave in but an hour. And we need to wake him up, and we fear that something might have happened to him. Oh.
I hold up a hand to cut her off. You have plenty of duties to attend to on this busy day. Let me handle this.
Right away, sir. And as she finds herself away, do you continue to Khan's room?
I do.
As you continue over to Khan's room, as you come up to his door, what do you do?
Even though they said they've been banging on the door, excuse me, I will politely knock, and say, Lord Khan, the house is expected to depart in but an hour.
Silence. No response.
No response?
No.
I will knock, once again. This is difficult for the both of us. I do not wish for this to become something it is not, my lord.
Still no response.
All right. If you're sure. I hate this just as much as you do. And may I try to pick the lock?
Yes. Give me a sleight of hand check with advantage.
That's good. That's also good. I got a total of 15.
Sherry, your way of operating is much more not like you understand that you being so all encompassing with your knowledge of this place. You just kind of take out a dagger from your side and just very gently kind of like just are able to push up the tumblers and then open up the door and push it open, and we're gonna cut away from you, Sherry.
Okay.
As we cut away from Sherry, we follow a wisp of wind through the lock of this barred door, and we emerge to the other side. And we are able to see that a chair has been placed underneath the door handle of this door, barring anyone from entry. And as we emerge, we are able to see Con LaCroix's dwellings. And we are able to see the remnants of a very fun evening. The duvet and the comforter have been flung from the bed, hanging off the side and balled up across the room. Clothing and jewelry and bags of shoes and undergarments litter the ground surrounding the royal king-sized mattress. There's a serving tray complete with 2 dirty plates holding onto the crumbs of last night's dinner, and 2 empty wine glasses, accompanying the napkins and silverware, of course, with an empty bottle of wine laid on its side, seemingly resting on the floor. Con LaCroix is sleeping soundly in his bed. He's on his back, lightly snoring, with a gentle breeze from a wide-open window brushing his blonde hair from his face. But also within this room, a figure, barely clothed, quickly collecting her belongings off the floor. This figure moves quickly, carefully, and quietly, doing her best to put herself back together. Moss, would you please introduce your character to us?
Amazing.
Hathor is very quietly getting her stuff together. She is a young woman. She appears to be a tiefling, but if you look at her longer, you'll start to see some things that are not quite all demonic. Bubblegum pink hair that's in with her blunt bangs in between her 2 horns that fade into a deeper coral. She's got completely gold eyes and little gold freckles across her cheeks. And in where her dimples would be and around her neck are gold adornments, little gold dimple piercings. I think they're like called Cupid piercings or something like that. And then a seemingly like continuous, no like latch visible gold band around her neck. That even in her state of undress, she is still wearing, as she is quietly trying to put on her clothes, searching for her one sock and being like, it's fine, a memento, and is starting to just try to put her stuff together. As she hears the knock on the door, she will grab her broom, and then look to the young man and will go, it would be rude, and will gently try and wake him up.
As Hathor, as you gently begin kind of shaking Can LaCroix,
I'll just like push his hair back like away from his eyes.
As he stirs, wakes up groggily, his eyes blinking longingly, he looks up, and the first thing that he sees upon regaining consciousness is you. And as that happens, you are able to hear him go, well, good morning, beautiful.
Good morning. I do believe your guard is trying to wake you up. I was just about to head out. Oh, yes.
As he looks at you and goes like, I'm not looking to be rude, but were you not intending on meeting the family.
Oh, I'm so sorry. What did you think this was?
Can like sits up and goes like, in all honesty, I have never seen someone of your beauty or skills before, and it would be remiss if I did not treat you to a wonderful introduction to some fine people.
Darling, it's totally okay. We talked a lot last night, and I was so pleasantly surprised. You are wonderful. Just, remember our key points. It's not the size that matters. It's how we use it. Yes, excellent. And so, I need to go because I'm about to go, I do believe I'm already a little bit late for it, but, this was wonderful. You're wonderful. You should always believe you're wonderful. Here, and she will give him a handful of condoms.
Yield protection.
Yes.
Can is just shocked into Hathor's declassified sex survival guide. Hathor is hands it over. Khan is just struck by this. Sits up. You're able to see like very kind of like lean, muscular figure from like lots of years of like riding
He
horses.
Is also covered in hickeys and bruises.
Without a doubt, yeah. It looks like he was shot with a paintball gun. As he goes, this is all moving so quickly. And just as that is being said, as you are speaking to him, as you hand him this memento, you are able to see as a dagger is able to pierce through the lock of the door, and with Sherry's just brute strength, the chair scatters out of the way as Sherry is standing there looking at you, Hathor.
Oh, hello. You're quite beautiful. I think I need to go, though.
Good morning. Who are you? How did you get in here?
I'm Hathor. I flew in. Lovely to meet you.
How did you get into the Lord Khan's room? How did you get past the guards?
Oh, he let me in.
Khan looks over to you, Sherry, and goes, I can certainly explain all of this.
Yes, you can. We have a long day of travel ahead of us. Hathor?
Yes.
Do you have means of getting yourself home?
Oh, absolutely. Don't worry about me. So yes.
And I will extend a hand back to her.
She will take it. Her skin is like your skin, not prickles, but like it's warm in a way that's like, oh, nice. Wow, great description words on my part.
You're all good.
It's nice.
With that sensation, can I do a quick Hunter's Bane, Fey Fiend Undead? What vibe that is?
Not any of that.
Curious. Sir Cherie, Captain of the Guard.
Oh, hello,
I
Cherie.
hope your time here at LaCroix Manor was pleasant.
Great. I had a great time. He's lovely.
Wonderful.
He really should talk to his dad more, though. He's got a lot to say in him, and you can
get home safely. Get home safely, Lady Hathor.
Sherry, as you start saying that, you're able to be like, what in the good heavens is that? As you see, Saint Pierre appears behind you and draws steel and an intruder in the young Khan's room.
Well, this seems to be getting very dramatic, so I'm gonna go. Goodbye. And
take care, Lady Hathor.
Climb onto her broom and fly out the window.
As Hathor, as you climb onto your broom, Saint Pierre runs into the room.
I want to stop him. Like as soon as he drew the dagger, I want to grab his arm and just hold it there.
As he's
holding.
As he's
holding the dagger. Yeah.
As he's getting ready to throw the dagger at Hathor, you just kind of grab his wrist mid-throw.
She is not a threat. Merely one of the Lord's visitors.
Saint Pierre goes, takes the dagger, sheaths it once again, straightens out his uniform, looks over to Khan, looks over at you, Sherry, and he goes, "At least there is one thing we can agree on. The young lords need to clear their visitors with their captain of the guard before they have them over."
Sir Saint-Pierre, I have this handled. Please return to your duties.
He looks at you, his lips kind of like purse a little bit as he goes, "Right away." He turns and then he leaves Sir Khan's room. And with that, Sherry, as you and Lord Khan probably, okay, all right, I'm trying my best here.
I just immediately, as soon as Sir Saint-Pierre is gone, I just kind of turn to Khan, like eye contact, and I say, "We are leaving in an hour. Be ready then." And I slam the door.
You ever look at Khan? His face is just one of pure horror, wordlessly, as you say that and just slam the door. And as you walk out to make sure that all of the readyments are completed for your travel, we cut over to Allatour. Sailing across the Allatour sky.
She's beaming. She's having a great time.
As you begin heading east at your own pace towards the small town of Vacant, a town where both peasants and nobles alike go to meet and make merry and just relax and escape away from whatever responsibilities they may have at their own private dwellings. And as you are, I guess, sailing through the wonderful sunny blue sky, what is going on in Allatour's mind? What is she thinking about right now?
She's thinking about, the date she has lined up, later today. She's also thinking about, like, I really should be able, I would love to get to brush my hair before that, just because it's now getting a little tangled in the wind. And she's also thinking about how the first thing she's gonna do once she gets back to her little room at an inn is she's gonna go out to the fields and practice her archery.
Practice her archery. And as you are sailing, thinking about, archery.
It's a beautiful day, and love was brought to even more people, and she's just feeling, like, very good in her own skin right now.
And as you are flying high above the countryside, as you begin to pass above small streams leading off to small lakes and small little points of ferry, as you are passing above, you're able to see an odd sight from maybe the 60, 70 feet you are above the ground. And you're able to see, spread out on the grass, where often there should be green, a red and white checker pattern. You're able to see a figure sitting, legs extended out with a brown-handled basket to his side. However, where you would imagine there should be another person, there is simply no one. There's an empty position.
Not presuming to be invited before she asks, she will just gently land a little bit of ways away. She also, strung along her back is her bow and her quiver, which I should have mentioned before because that may have changed how Sherry handled her, knowing that she was armed, but yes, but she will land and say, "Good morrow, sir. How are you today?"
You're able to watch as this man begins, like, very clearly there's no check, begins wiping his eyes of tears as he looks over and goes, Good morrow, my fair lady. How be the day to you? Travels be well?"
"Oh, it's beautiful for me, but are you quite all right?" I don't know why she talks like this. It just is.
As he looks off to the water, are you still on your broom as you kind of just like settle?
I will have landed.
As you land, as he looks out to the water and goes, "My day was promised to be a good one. But I as you see him kind of like shake his head and kind of like smile as like tears begin to well up in his eyes. He goes, but I believe the wonderful noblewoman that I was supposed to be meeting simply was delayed by her duties. Of course, that is simply what it must be. As he like kind of like turns his body a little bit away from you, trying to hide the shame of crying.
Hathor will be like, oh, baby, this is my bread and butter. Here I go. She will sit on the grass, not on the blanket, just, where he's where she is, so he's still a little bit turned away from her. And she will go, oh, you were going to meet somebody. Was this person special to you? Are they special to you?
And just to give some good description, as he kind of like turns his head to talk to you once again, you're able to see that this person is not squalid, definitely not the poorest of the poor. You're able to see kind of an upturned kind of collar of a button shirt. You're able to see a brown vest. You're able to see boots with spurs on them. This person is clearly he's clearly some kind of horse. He's clearly some kind of
you gotta put this in the chat.
Exactly, yes. He is just looking for bad bitches to take advantage of him, but in all honesty...
You don't understand. Every time I get the DM to pause the game by what I type in the Zoom chat, I win.
No, just put it in the Twitch chat and I'll see it anyway. But whatever.
Alrighty.
But as you're able to look at him, kind of like, curly brown hair, an average face of not outstandingly beautiful as someone is, as most fucking people are. As he kind of sits there and as he goes, I guess I have been. No, yes, she is someone who is. She is the most beautiful woman in the world to me, and.
Well, that is beautiful. It's an incredible gift of people to be able to love, and you clearly love very deeply. If you don't mind me asking, and she will very gently pull out a handkerchief and offer it to him.
Oh, he still kind of turned away. He goes, well, thank you, my lady, as he takes it and begins he wipes the tears away, blows his nose into it so he can talk clear, as he now collects himself, kind of turns to you and goes, yes, but she must have gotten caught up with her noble duties to the family of the LaCroix.
Well, do you feel valued by her?
And he kind of puts his hands up to his temples and kind of goes like, "Argh," and kind of falls back onto the blanket and goes, I'm unsure. I'm a smaller noble. My father and I and my mother, we run a horse racing track near the manor. We are in charge of breeding stallions, taking bets and the like. And I assumed that, and of course we are of no level of the LaCroix, but I guess I assumed that, conversations and promises made under the light of the moon would see life in the sun, but...
Well, I suppose my question is to you. When you're with her, and then when you think of her later, does it make you happy?
He looks to you, and...
I am so sorry. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Hathor. I am a knight of Aphrodite. And I would love to help you, but also, there is no pressure. I may also sail on my merry way. You may keep that handkerchief should you need it, and I will say a quiet prayer for you later, and that is all.
He crosses his hands over his chest as he looks to you and goes, and my name is Lucas, and...
Lucas. What a lovely name.
A worshipper of Aphrodite is... well received in this hour of need, and perhaps even your presence is a sign that it is meant to be.
Yes. Well, all love is beautiful, so long as it is what the person who is loving wants. And I suppose if she does love you, then wonderful, because, Lucas, you deserve somebody who loves you just as much as you love them. And you deserve to be loved in exactly the way you want to be.
Give me a persuasion check.
Alrighty.
Let's whip it out, baby. Let's go.
Oh, fuck. Do we have coins in this game?
No, we'll see. We'll see, but not now. Not now.
I don't need it, bitch.
With a dirty 20, he looks to you and he goes, "The kind and wise words of someone who has studied loves and understands it better than I. Please, sit with me," as he kind of like gestures you onto the picnic blanket and goes, "I brought enough food and wine for 2.
Oh. Well, it is wonderful to become your friend, Lucas.
Lucas nods and goes, "And I you, Hathor, and I you." And you both are able to just sit and have a wonderful small meal. And with that, as you eat and be merry, and as spirits are certainly lifted, we then... the wind takes us away from the land of the LaCroix, as we then begin to sail across Allatour once again. The pace will pick up once you all are together, but I hope these intros have been fun for everybody.
I'm watching
I'm
hell
watching
out of
my shows.
Watching
my shows.
Just a quick pause. I really wanted to hit like the soap opera aesthetic of this game, and I hope it's coming through. Of like the vibes are so different, and I love it. I'm having
nice.
just a quick check-in. Are we all having a good time?
Yes.
Yes.
It's
yes.
so nice
yes,
to play
and
a
yes.
character who's emotionally intelligent.
Yes. I mean, I love playing characters that don't have to manage their desires to stab you guys all the time. So it's a nice change of pace for me. But as we are whisked away on a warm summer's breeze, away from this picnic basket, the wind takes us to a place of interesting sounds. The sounds of cows mooing, chickens clucking, and horses neighing, mixing with the of seabirds and the crashing of waves against the rocks of the shore. We are whisked through grazing grass, well-trodden dirt paths, tracks for horses to train, butcher shops, leatherworking stores, stables, and barns, until we come upon the Pavel Estates. White and blue marble, a collection of pointed towers all huddled around a singular central domed building. And as we are taken up to the northernmost tower, we sneak our ways into and in through a balcony into a large bedchamber which doubles as a private office. There's a canopy bed, huge oil paintings of the Pavel family, an elaborate oak desk, and the exquisitely dressed man sitting behind it, which is juxtaposed by the whips and hot pokers adorning the mantel above the fireplace. The mannequins within the room lining the walls covered in cattle herding gear and strips of leather hanging on a tanning rack waiting to be stitched into garments or armor. And finally within this room, there's a figure standing between 2 large, handcrafted red leather chairs, each to either side of the desk. Now, the man sitting within the desk, once again, brown hair, thick mustache, well-kempt beard, long brown hair, but this time adorned in almost like scalish armor. Clearly some kind of like well-kempt, overwhelmed, almost military-esque appearance. And you're able to watch as this figure loudly taps his fingers against the solid oak before simply saying, "You have been incredibly disappointing." And with that, Darby, will you please introduce your character to us?
Hi, my name is Daddy Issues.
Hello. The Honorable Viscount Cassiano Alwyn Pavel. Please say the whole thing. I'm sure you've got it. is a half-elven man of average height, average build as well. Clearly could probably have some sort of like dexterous, wiry strength, but has long red hair braided back, green eyes, some freckles, a well-kept mustache and goatee, a long green coat of like very clearly very expensive make, very like well kept and oiled leathers, and a pair of knee-high brown leather boots with all sorts of golden filigree, dangly earrings, rapier at his waist, and just keeping a sort of nearly roguish stance as he stands before the Marquis Alwyn Gennady Pavel, his father.
As the Marquis says this to you, yes, Marquis Alwyn Gennady Pavel III, for anybody that was wondering, speaks out to you and says that to you. Do you have any response?
Look, it's very early on in these outings. There is these things, they trend upwards. This was a fluke. Did you see that, oh god, what even was he? An ogre, an orc? That he was huge. It's not my fault. I will do better in the tournaments in the future, and I can assure you that I will do this name proud. I promise.
The fact that you have no ability to identify an ogre from an orc is concerning to me.
He was trying to stab me. I was kind of focused on that.
It was a tournament in a pirate city.
So, small audience. Audience with poor memory. They're drinking all day. They're getting whacked on the head by the other pirates. They won't even remember. It's a wash. And I can fix this. And we will be good.
Do I need to remind you that your reputation is everything?
You do not need to remind me. I'm fully aware.
You watch as the Marquis stands from the desk very slowly and turns his back to you and begins looking out of the balcony across to the cliffs and to the sea and to the grazing ground beneath, easily 7-8 stories below, and kind of like turns his head so that you're able to see his hair blowing in the breeze as your father says to you,
"And I want to make it very clear, if it would be so easy, with that level of failure, you would be banished from this family and replaced with another.
Yeah.
Be happy, it is not that easy."
I will fix this. I will fix this, and we will both get what we need out of it. And then no one needs to worry. It'll be fine.
turns back to you, begins kind of walking around the room, walks up to the great hearth within this office and picks a fire poker off of the mantle and begins examining it, and then goes,
"That is very correct. Because Harvest Day is in a fortnight. Now I will be making preparations for myself, Adelia, and Helena to travel to the capital with a host in tow. You will not be traveling with us."
Oh?
looks down at the poker, kind of like pricks his finger, puts it back onto the mantle, and begins walking around the room as well, not even looking at you at this point, and says, "No, you will be leaving at noon today. So make your preparations quickly."
I turn to leave, and before I leave fully, I'm going to pause and look back at him. And I'm going to say, I give you every promise in my heart that I will do this well, and I will do this right. But I feel the need to remind you before I go that I have a certain amount of power here too. And if I need to use it, I will.
Oh, give me a quick. I'm gonna say I will let you determine what check that is.
Ooh, I'm going to intimidation. Okay. That is a 21.
He looks back at you very quickly and takes a step towards you and says, "Then it is in both of our best interests that you are not defeated so easily from now on."
I won't be.
Without any further acknowledgement or even love, nods his head, walks back to his desk, sits back down, and says, "The ferrymen of the Abundance are expecting you by evening tomorrow. Make your arrangements from there."
Alrighty. Have a great day, Alwyn.
Just a long exhale as he goes, "You as well, Cassiano." And you stroll out of the penthouse office / bedroom of, I keep forgetting his name, I'm so sorry, Marquis Alwyn Kennedy Pavel III, and I'll say the whole thing every time. As you stroll out,
He doesn't need it. I'm the one who needs it.
as you begin the long descent down the stairs of the tower, what is going through Cass's head at this moment?
Oh man, just the sort of while definitely puts on a front, knows there is a need for him to improve his reputation both at large and in the eyes of the Marquis. While slightly offended that he has been asked to go forward on his own, is also somewhat relieved that there will be less of a show to put on for family and for any attendees who will be following as well.
As those thoughts racing through your head, as you continue down the stairs thinking about that idea of making of honoring your family name, of making sure that honor and dignity is achieved by you, you are able to see midway up the tower, within a separate kind of bed chamber, stepping out, you are able to see Adelia Pavel step out as well. Adelia, adorned, again, a long blonde hair, again, well-combed tiara, the Duchess of the... Oh, okay, I'm sorry. What exactly would be... So it would be Marquis. I'm keeping all this together, I'm sorry.
Viscountess?
The Viscount.
Cassiano's
Yes.
the Viscount?
Yes,
Marquess,
yes. Step out and quickly run into you. Do you say anything?
I say, Adelia, I don't know if you've been informed, but our dear father is sending me on my way a bit early so that I might maybe make my reputation half a day's faster, but I'll be heading out sooner than planned.
Looks at you and goes, "You are heading out before the main host?"
Yeah, it appears so. At the order of the Marquis, all powerful that he is.
All powerful indeed. Did he clear the road for you as well?
Oh, that is an excellent question, and I suppose will be seen as I approach it.
I will go talk to father as she looks at you and goes, "I would hate to hear that you were killed on the road."
I'll have it handled. I will absolutely have it handled. You don't even worry. It'll be fine.
All right, Cass. I trust you. Just kind of like gives you a quick like mocking salute and goes, Godspeed. And as you see her kind of like a long like green like puffed out dress, hikes it up a bit, and with heels on, it goes, Father, and begins running up the stairs to go chat with Alwyn. As you continue down the stairs out to the main courtyard, what kind of preparations would I'm gonna get her off the screen? Give me one sec. What kind of preparations would Cass be making before traveling out?
Gathering, seeing if I can maybe procure some funds for the road would be excellent. Doing things like Cassiano is definitely bringing some wine, some like cheese and meat and things. Definitely is a person of definitely likes to indulge when it comes to expensive food and drink. Making sure all of his weapons are prepared, and is mostly content to go about gathering it himself rather than having other people do it. Is definitely a little bit of like a control freak in that area, but yeah, is just going about and gathering the expensive things that he can from the estate.
As you step down to the center and into like the entryway to the northernmost tower, and you step into the large dome, as you move through the noble great halls and hallways and chambers, you eventually come into a section of the Great Dome, which is just reserved for, it's almost like a farmer's market, where it's almost like an indoor-outdoor market in a kind of way, where different goods of animals and crops are being peddled around. And as you are moving from stall to stall, kind of collecting these things, as you come to one which you understand that you can get kind of like preserved meats and cheeses from, you're able to see a man go, Cassiano, greetings once again. Thank you once more for cleaning out the stables. And the milking of the cows as well. My back, it hurts, and I appreciate that from you.
Oh, of course. Always happy to lend a hand. You know me.
You watch as this man, heavier set, definitely older, balding with a ring of gray hair. You see he has a butcher's apron on, splattered with kind of like some red fresh blood, some brown and old and crusted. Looks around and goes, but of course, and I heard that you were making the trip soon, so I wish to have certain procurements put together for you, and hands you a full second backpack full of crackers and cheese and meat.
Oh, excellent. Thank you so much. I am very, very grateful.
As you take, he goes, anytime. But I will say, given you have been so helpful in the past, maybe you'll be able to help my daughter with something. She is having difficulty with one of the horse's hooves. We believe there may be a cavity within it, and I understand, based upon your previous experience with animals, helping us once again would be greatly appreciated.
But of course, I would simply love to. I love the horses and hate to see them in pain. Will absolutely come be of aid to you and your daughter and your horse. I'll do it.
Excellent. Just a reminder, it is a cow. I hope that you would know the difference. Where did you get
I thought you said horse. I misheard.
Looks at you and goes, where did you get the milk from the last time you were here if you don't know the difference between a cow and a horse?
I simply misheard. This is such a busy, loud market. Simply, my bad.
Rolls up a towel, kind of like hits you with it and goes, I was only kidding. And then takes you behind the stall, moves you over to a large, like, inside grazing pen. And we're not going to get too brutal with this. This is an indoor pasture where cows are then moved over to be either examined to then let graze more, or to be butchered and then processed into different like meats and goods. As one cow has been taken out of the, I guess you could call it a steer, basically, but whatever. Cow fucking biology, I guess, is the important part of this game. As it is taken away, to a small little medical center within this great market, you're able to see a thinner woman, darker skin, long black hair into a ponytail, as you see a bovine and just kind of like kicking as she's having difficulty getting the leg bent to try to get it onto a rack to get it cleaned.
Well, let's see what the problem is so we can get it fixed up and I can be on my way.
Give me a quick animal handling check.
That's a wisdom check, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
That will go well. That will go excellently. This will be okay. This will be good. 14. We're good. Probably.
Excellent. And give that so this is just for knowledge about the animal. You know that this cow is obviously in pain, most likely from whatever, as said to you before, from whatever ingrowth is happening within the actual like bone structure of the hoof. And you understand that this, you look over, and this is and I can't remember the exact wording for it now, so all the cow heads are going to come after me for not getting this right. This is a younger bovine, which is not experienced at having procedures like this done, and is simply fighting because it believes that the touching of the hurt extremity will lead to more pain.
As this woman is trying to like get him set in whatever like thing so that we can work on a soup, I am going to like go around to the front and just kind of approach the cow and be like, hello, hi, and I'm gonna try and like maybe pet it, give it some scritches, see if I can distract it.
Give me another animal handling check.
Okay. Should I keep rolling the same die? It's rolling well. My foot is cramping. There we go. 10.
Okay. What's the athletics score of a cow? Give me 1 second here.
Am I gonna get bit? Am I gonna get punched by a cow?
Gonna get kicked in the chest by a whole
I'm in front of him. Cows kick backwards, as far as I can assume.
But what do you say to this cow as you approach it, slowly try to pet it on its snout?
I say, hello, good sir. We are going to deal with your hoof today, and if you want to do me a favor, you can make this real easy for all of us and for this young woman, and put your hoof up on that little contraption just there.
Excellent. Halfway through all of that, the cow bites down on your hand above the knuckle right before the thumb.
Oh, you bastard son of a bitch.
You're able to hear the daughter of this butcher look over to you and go, usually you help with the leg itself, not with the animal's temperament, but I am not one, so your help is very appreciated.
A real shitty temperament. Ugh. All right. Let's take a look. Bastard.
I'll just say all the names. This steer pulling against the assistants. She's simply having a difficulty getting up onto the contraption. If you want to give me an athletics check, as she makes one as well, to get it up onto the small holder, so she's able to get to work with her tools.
Oh, gladly. That is a 17.
Excellent. She got the exact same thing, as you are both able to grab onto the ankle, get it up onto the brace, as she then goes, that is very appreciated. Thank you, Cassiano.
Of course. Happy to help.
As she begins just kind of like pulling at the hoof to get at the cavity. And with that, you are able to travel onward. Any other arrangements that need to be made before you head out?
As long as I have all of my equipment, I think that, yeah, just gonna like take a look around and then head out without saying goodbye to anyone.
Take a look around. You see several people who you have done very low-level jobs for. Hay hucking, manure shoveling, all of the likes of that. They wave to you, they nod to you as you make your way out of the Pavel Estates and begin heading east down the main road to the town of Vakon. The fastest way, having been ferried across the Abundance Waters, the fastest way to get to the capital. You mind if we cut away?
Sure that.
As we then pull away. And we are then whisked away by a strong wind, this one taking us to the farthest, most isolated place of this section of the world. As we fly north, we travel uphill, reaching the edge of a large cliff overlooking the sea. Peering over the cliff, we're able to see waves crashing into the jagged rocks below, invoking the imagery of a herd of white stallions galloping up the rocks. However, as we are whisked over the cliff's edge and peer back at the towering landmass, we are able to see that this cliff face is not flat, rough, and untempered, but is instead porous, carved, and almost manicured. And as we gaze upon the dozens of man-made cave openings, external pathways, and statues carved into the rocks, we are whisked inside and begin to travel quickly like insects returning to their nests. We travel up and down and left and right. We travel up ladders and down dumbwaiter systems until we are firmly and completely beneath hundreds of yards of earth and stone. Here we focus upon a large room, filled with rows and rows of large oak barrels lining the walls, some even acting as makeshift blockades as one travels throughout this room. We see a figure pulling a bottle of wine from a crate and tossing it haphazardly onto a silver tray with a singular wine glass. As this figure wiggles his fingers, and the cork of the bottle magically pops out, the wine flowing against gravity with it and into the glass, he travels through these elaborate tunnels until we come to a hefty set of thick metal doors, with his father waiting for him patiently. Tony, will you please describe your character for us?
All right, I was muted. All right, so my guy is Blorso Bumperdinger. He's a 40-something-year-old dude. His hair kind of goes like woo, and then he has a beard that kind of goes like woo. And his hair's kind of like brown and like everywhere. His beard's kind of like maroonish, and it's got like a silver gray streak going down. And he's holding this wine and thinking about wine, I guess, and he just looks real tired and vaguely annoyed.
Okay.
And he's walking towards this door, I guess.
As you walk towards this door, you see your father, his name being... you look towards your father, whose name will remain a mystery for now, because why would you call your father by his first name? You see, he's an older man, salt and pepper hair. He has a beard with no mustache, like Amish style. He has like elegant cloth and leather clothing of like purples and reds, but is clearly like a lesser noble, or perhaps even like a higher servant of some kind. And as you walk up and engage with this man, he looks to you and he goes, "Okay, Blur Salt, now you got this? You understand what we're doing, right?"
Absolutely.
Okay. There, he looks at you, he kind of like cocks his head and he goes, "There have been many times where you've said this exact same thing, and you could not have been further from the mark. Would you like for me to re-explain the plan to you?"
Not because I don't know the plan, but because I want to make sure you know the plan. Yes.
Okay. I will now, to maintain both of our prides, re-explain the plan, to make sure that myself, the man who came up with the plan, knows what it is. Okay?
Thank you.
Drew, Tony's doing object work. Take away the pick crew.
Oh, shit! Fuck!
I was literally about to say, unpin that character.
He's doing object work.
I have
Look
so
at that
many-
object work.
He's doing so good. Oh, give us another swirl, Tony.
Give us a swirl.
Oh, let's go. That's a sommelier if I ever saw one.
The legs on this are almost as fine as yours.
Look. Hawthor, get out of here. Hawthor flies over Beset Palace at record speeds. Look, he looks to you and he goes, "Okay, so within there is Bjor Hayes Beset, all right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go in there. Now, you have been working for these people for a while, all right? And so have I. And honestly, I think it's time we move up in the world. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get in there. You've picked out the finest vintage. That's the finest vintage, right?
Absolutely. What I'm drinking right now.
Wait, are you drinking the wine?
Is my character drinking wine? I don't know.
Is your character drinking the wine?
No. Sorry.
Give me a deception check.
Oh shit.
In real life.
Wait. I'm sorry, I panicked just because there was the bit made about like the object work, and I was like, "Oh, this shit," but that's out of character. Okay, hang on.
You were totally cool.
Deception. Aha! Oh, dang! This is the one stat that I have. Let's do it. 14, so 19 total.
19 total.
Yeah.
Your dad looks at you and he looks at the glass, the wine magically poured into it that already has like legs on the glass, and he goes, perfect, you pre-swirled the wine. That lets it breathe more. Excellent. But what we're gonna do, we have the finest vintage of wine. Give me a quick investigation check of the bottle that you grabbed.
I'm gonna keep doing this out of character.
Hell yeah.
Right, investigation check. There we go. +1 to this. 10.
A 10. Excellent. As you stealthily look down towards the bottle of wine, you are able to see that this is a fine vintaged, corked and bottled and made to age for 1 day. You grabbed a fresh bottle of wine.
And this man asked me if this was the finest vintage, right?
Yes.
All right. I'm just gonna look at it knowingly, and I'm just gonna say, yeah.
Blurs, you watch as your father looks at you and goes, there's no one I would trust more with this, okay? You've been training for a lot of years. But what we're gonna do is I'm gonna do most of the talking, all right? And then we're gonna get you some kind of position. It's all gonna work out, all right? And then we're gonna move up in the world, okay? We got this?
Absolutely.
Okay. Absolutely excellent. Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Your father turns to face the door as he goes, breathes a couple times, and then begins pushing on the heavy, thick set of doors to open it up. As you follow him inside, you're able to see a large chamber. And you see multiple alchemy tables, smithing tables, arcane stations where like focuses are imbued with magic. You see racks and racks of locked glass cases with magical weapons, armor, and equipment currently in production, encased within. You're able to see the center of the room. You're able to see Bjorhaze Beset standing outside of a large hourglass structure. Within this structure, on the top section, there's an ever-moving greenish-blue energy. And in the bottom, you're able to see 2 cockatrices. If you're unsure what a cockatrice is, you're able to see...
I don't know what that is.
You're able to see them go... Mah, mah. They're 2 man-sized, sickly gray birds. They have the red giblets of a turkey above and below a piss-red beak. They have wings.
Piss red. Whoa, what kind
Yes.
of piss are you pissing?
You are able to see wings like the skin of a bat with large, sharp talons coming from their feet. They're just gross. They're just gross-looking big birds.
Gross bird. Got it.
As you see an old man with a book and a quill floating around him. He's a wrinkled face. He's short, like 5'1", with like a hunched back. He has elegant dark blue robes laid with like rings and chains of mithril. Along with like glasses with like an adjustable focus, and like like old man ear hair. He's got that too. And as you see him begin to kind of like and begin to like cast a spell onto these 2 cockatrices, your father goes, announcing Blur Assault Bumperdinger, and pushes you forward. What do you say?
Sir, Mr. Bjorhays Beset, I have for you here our finest wine. I believe you'll find that it is quite to your satisfaction. Do I have like a glass to pour it for him?
Yeah, it's the glass that you were drinking out of, yes.
All right. I take a glass, I pour him some wine. Now I really am.
Woo, let's go.
Grown in the finest vineyards of the place where the finest vineyards are. On the nose, there are hints of grapes and alcohol. If you listen to it, you can hear shores of the beaches of the coasts. Yeah, it's a good wine. Give it a try. I hand that off to Mr. Sir Bjorhays.
Yeah, this man jingles as he walks. As he comes up to you, closes the distance, takes the wine and goes, "This smells like grapes."
So it does.
You know my taste well. As he takes a sip from the glass. This tastes like fresh wine. As he slowly looks over to you and at your father and then back over to you as he goes, "The best way to impress a Beset is to give them something they've never received before. I've never had fresh wine. Excellent work, Blearsalt."
Why, thank you, sir. As I kind of half bow, half curtsy.
You... What the fuck? You half bow, half curtsy.
I don't know, man. I it's like a... This isn't a very wide-angle camera, but it's like, aw.
Oh, got it.
Like, I don't have a skirt to grab onto to do the curtsy with, but I do the motion with my hands anyway.
You are all good.
You could tell on my face that I realize halfway through that it's not like it's kind of weird to do. But I try to just bring it together, just like stand up like a dignifiedly, and just like.
Give me a dex check with disadvantage.
Okay. Dexterity. Where is that? The first one is and the second one is a 15. So it's a 12.
That is a 12.
Yeah.
As you half bow, half curtsy, woo, 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 as the bottle smashes and is exploded across the floor. As this fresh.
I forgot I was holding a wine bottle.
What?
I forgot I was holding a wine bottle.
As it smashes across the floor, you're able to watch as Bjorhays looks to you and goes, A wonderful display. For now, I am the only man who have tasted this vintage. Knowledge.
And now you shall be the only man to ever taste it.
Looks over to your father and goes, "Jeff, your son makes me laugh. He makes me feel like I'm 87 again. You have interrupted my work, shrinking these birds. How may I help you today?" As you are able to watch as the greenish-blue magic begins to trail out of the hourglass down towards the cockatrice, as you hear... as you watch as the two cockatrices begin to shrink down to the size of little figurines. As Jeff looks over and goes, well... Duke Beset, we were hoping to be of service to you for this year's Harvest Day and for the Harvest Festival. We were hoping that we would be able to ride with your host or find some way to assist you in ensuring the Besets are greeted with the, as he starts kind of struggling, he starts elbowing you in the side a little bit to kind of help him out a little bit as he goes but I'm sure that Blearsalt could happily explain this better than I.
Yes, of course. You see, there's been a matter which we have been attending to and taking care of, but as as you know, I would like to assure you that we have the highest confidence, and that you should have the highest confidence in us, because your interests, we make your interests our interests, and we take care of what needs taking care of. How is the wine?
Bjerhaze looks over to you and goes, "Don't believe me, complimenting the wine will make me any more disposed than I already am towards you." Looks back at looks
So
up.
it seems you are already disposed. Thank you. That's lovely to hear.
Yes. I will say, Blursalt, you have an incredible way with words. Your sentences, like poetry, they rhyme.
Why, thank you. You as well speak in prose in such a manner that is as if that prose were rhyming.
He looks over to your dad and goes, "He will be attending the Harvest Day Festival. He will act as our personal sommelier. Never in my life have I seen someone so bold to do what he has." Does this sound agreeable to you, Blursalt?
Most agreeable, sir. Thank you. I am honored.
Perfect. When would you like to begin your travels to the Harvest Festival?
Whatever is convenient for you.
Perfect. Give me but a moment then. And you watch as Bjerhaze walks over, walks over, and you see him begin kind of like hunched back, old kind of wizard attitude, and begins walking over like the different kind of like shelves, and begins pulling like certain low-level magical items off of them using like a magical telekinesis of sorts. And as he's pulling them off of the shelves, they begin hovering around him. He continues walking, and then he walks up to the two cockatrice, small little birds laying around inside the bottom of the hourglass, as he takes some powder out and throws it in, he basically magically throws it with a mage hand up to the top of the hourglass. It sprinkles down onto them as they then and just freeze up completely, as he then carves a hole out of the glass, opens it up, and retrieves the two figurines, putting them inside of like almost like a bandolier-esque satchel, as he then takes these magical weapons, and then begins bringing them over to you. Please give me an athletics check as he starts handing you all of these magical items and weapons and armor.
Athletics. Where that? I found it. 10.
A 10? Excellent. As you begin having like this armor placed on you, give me a quick strength saving throw.
Oh boy, is that... Do I have to like press a different button than to make a roll, or is it the same on D&D Beyond?
It'll be lower. You'll see it down the bottom left.
Wait.
We're all still learning
left.
here.
Saving throw. Okay, I rolled strength and got a 10.
Awesome.
I don't know.
As you are inundated with magical weapons and armor, as you are just covered in magical items, okay. You feel your knees begin to shake a little bit as you know that you're about to fall over. As Bjerhaze looks over to you and your father Jeff, and goes, "Would it behoove you to leave immediately then?"
Wait, I'm sorry. What is the cause of me falling over right now?
The weight of all the shit that he's giving you.
I see. Yes, I believe so.
Excellent. Luckily, the teleportation will take the weight off of your knees. Here's what I need from you, Blursalt, and I believe you're up to the challenge. You will prepare the town of Vakon, their tavern. You will ensure that it is perfected as a royal sommonier's attendance would make it so. Am I clear?
As crystals, sir.
Perfect. Now, I have one more gift to give to you. As you watch as he's able to hand you over that like bandolier satchel with the figurines of the cockatrice as well. As he then takes a small little half of ascending stone and hands it over to you, kind of like putting it precariously on top of one of the giant stacks of items that you have. He says, please take this to the general store of Vakan. They'll be expecting the delivery of these common magical items having been fixed up.
I shall at once.
Excellent. And if you must travel before my arrival at the town of Vakan, please simply let me know. If you must travel to the festival early due to any kind of disruptions, all I need is the information of such. Am I clear?
I will do that if the situation arises.
He walks over to your dad as your dad kind of like flashes you a quick thumbs up as he goes like, you are most kind, Bjerhaze. That is much appreciated. What would you have me do? As Bjerhaze looks over and goes, you will travel with me and serve me the same wine that your son has, and shall do so. But I do not wish to taste the same. I wish to taste slight variations of it. Only vintages that only I have tasted, never before. As he goes, it would be my honor to travel to the capital with you, sir, of course. As Bjerhaze looks back and goes, then, my boy, are you ready to travel?
Absolutely.
Excellent. Behold! Boom! As an insane blue and green star begins to be carved into the sky. You watch as it solidifies in glimmering, sparkling magical energy as it is lowered down upon you, onto the sending stone, onto all the magical weapons, armor, and items. You begin to transport yourself as you begin to feel your glimmering light. You feel hot and then cold and then itchy and then hot and then cold as you then begin to recognize that all you can see is light, flashing, blinding white light. Until your vision suddenly returns to you, and you are no longer within the deep, dark, dank caves of Beset Palace. But you are now within the town of Vakan, seemingly teleported hundreds of miles in the blink of an eye.
Damn, that sure do teleport.
Teleportation indeed. Now, as you arrive in the town center, things happen in conjunction with one another. Everyone, please just take a moment and collect yourselves. Everyone is pissing themselves.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful.
God.
I'm crying.
That was hard!
Oh, what did you
Oh
say,
my
Tony?
gosh.
Damn that teleport.
Teleportation, dude, teleport or something like that. I don't know.
Oh my God.
Art. Round of
I-
applause.
Oh my
Jesus
God.
Christ.
It's D&D Squidward!
This is gonna be a whole campaign of just
That
that.
was so good.
I
when you
can't wait.
were describing the cockatrices, I thought that I was thinking of cockatiels. And so as you
Same.
were describing the birds
Oh
and
my
they were
God.
slowly becoming less like
Cockatiels
real
are real birds,
I
by
was
the
like,
way.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, no, they're
I
monsters.
Piss
Googled it, and I was
red?
like, oh.
What?
It's red.
Piss red.
Yeah,
Yes.
what?
Piss red. What do you
What
mean
does
by
that
that?
mean?
Piss
Go to
red.
a doctor!
Exactly. They're ugly. They're ugly birds. They're monsters. Piss red.
It's red.
Oh my
Is that like a
God.
symptom of kidney
My back is covered in sweat.
Ugly ass bird.
Yes, disgusting.
The way in which you had to be like, okay, yes,
Yeah, no,
bless
focus back up, honestly. Yeah, look, I'm not a fucking professional. Shit is funny, all right? Like, let's be honest here.
Everyone go Google cockatrices. They are horrifying.
Don't like them.
I don't wanna.
Don't like them.
Piss red. But with all of that, as happening within conjunction, riding alone on their mount, we have Cassiano. Flying in on their broom, we have Hathor. Traveling with the LaCroix entourage, we have Cherie. And standing within the town center, we have Blursalt. As the rest of the three of you are able to see, as you're all kind of like coming to a conjunction within the center of this town at the same time, a flash of blue and green magical energy, and you are able to watch, because of those failed strength checks and athletics checks, a man inundated with magical items falls to the ground, them scattering across the floor, across the road.
Do we all see this?
You all see this, yes.
I rush over to help.
Hotha rushes over to help. Any reaction from Cass, Cass or Cherie?
Do any of them look particularly... I'm looking for a combination of valuable and grabbable. Is what I would say I am looking for.
Blursalt, give me a quick perception check.
Also, it's Blursalt?
It's Blorso. It's however you want
Blorso, okay.
I apologize.
to pronounce it. Blorso.
Look, I gotta remember a lot of shit. I can't
Yeah,
also
you're
learn.
doing great,
Absolutely.
fair.
Awesome.
What
You're doing
check
so good.
am I doing? Perception. Where's perception?
It's in the skills kind of thing.
So there it is.
There you go.
They're in alphabetical order, but I'm bad at looking at lists. Okay, 13 minus 1 is 12.
Excellent. Cass, give me a quick stealth check.
I've got disadvantage on those.
Okay.
Oh no!
I got that. I got that chainmail.
Oh no!
That is a 9.
9. Excellent.
Do we all see this?
Well, first of all, first of all, with Blurso on the ground, Hotha rushing over, Cass being like, let's steal some stuff. Cherie, you watch George's LaCroix riding, kind of like riding within the carriage with him, kind of like slides back an ornate kind of like visibility blocker and goes, oh my god, it seems that a man has been teleported here and has fallen with magical items everywhere.
I look out with him. I shall go assist him. Wait here.
Yes, of course. As you're able to step out of the carriage, excellent. Cass, as you rush over and you see like all this kind of shit just kind of like splattered against the road, you're able to see there are a couple potions, like small little like green, blue, and red potions like scattered around the ground.
Do I see him steal some shit?
I'll get to that in 1 second.
He hasn't stolen yet.
Blurso, you're able to watch as a tall Asamar, a Nephilim, and this wonderful
I
half
look
elf.
like a tiefling.
Oh,
I don't know
sorry, a
what those words
tiefling,
mean.
tiefling passing,
I know what that word means.
and a half elf all rush up to you.
All right. Oh wait, am I the guy who fell? Who
Yes.
dropped the magic item?
Yes, yes.
All right. Whoa!
I-
Oh no, I've fallen.
I use.
And I can't get
Oh
up.
damn! A cast of characters. Shit.
Blurso, you see this very tall, muscular woman immediately help you to your feet, like set you straight and go, are you all right? You have quite a bit of equipment and no means to carry it in.
I freeze up for a second and then I say, "Yeah, I'm all good. Thank you." And then I like take a second to think about whether it's like worth it to ask for help or not, or to just try to struggle carrying all of this by myself again. And then I'm just like, "Mm-hmm."
Do you need help?
Maybe.
Please, by all means. And I start helping him carry some stuff. Start grabbing stuff to pick up.
As you start picking up some stuff, Cass, what do you do?
I say, oh, goodness gracious, please let me help you. And I will try and like scoop some stuff up in the hopes of maybe pilfering a thing or two on the way to wherever we are going.
Awesome.
I'm like, oh damn, thank you. Sorry to like inconvenience you both with this, but thanks.
Oh, why, it is no inconvenience for the Viscount Cassiano Alwyn Pavel. I am a man of the people. I live to help.
As
The honorable.
Insight check on him.
Blurso, as you look over and you see the Viscount just kind of like giving that long kind of title, introducing himself properly, you're able to watch him very obviously put a potion in his back pocket. Just fully steals right in front of you.
The honorable Viscount Cassiano Alwyn Pavel. Very nice to see you. How kind of you to hold on to some objects for this poor man.
Yes. Glass is very breakable, so I can understand why you would put it in your back pocket.
A man only has so many hands. Pockets are the hands of the pants.
I'm just standing here looking down at myself, thinking about why I avoid confrontation.
And we've done it again! Dark has made Drew choke laugh once again!
Oh my god. Tony, what were you saying? I'm so sorry.
I'm just standing here looking down at myself, wondering why I avoid confrontation.
And then Hathor, how do you help out Blusseau?
Fuck, sorry. Hathor bursts into laughter at what Cassiana says, like fully throws her head back and chortles.
Lady Hathor, are you alright?
Yes, yes. Oh, Cherie! Hello again! How soon?
Hello.
Oh, you
Hello.
two know each other.
Oh, yes! We met this morning.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yes.
As I was asking Drew.
Oh, you two know each other. Okay.
I was like, hey, Drew! Okay, it's like, yes.
For better or for worse, yes.
Yes, for better. How do I help this man? Fuck. I will, pick up some of his things and hopefully more securely place them into his arms.
Thank you.
I will brush the
They're
dust
not more secure
off
in my
of...
arms.
Yes, I will brush the dust off your back.
Wonderful. I've been arrested.
As you all begin kind of helping Blusseau in your own very unique ways, dropping such wonderful wisdom as hands and pants.
Pockets are the hands of pants.
As you guys are helping out Blusseau, you guys are able to hear the immediate happiness and the ecstatic nature of a crowd. And as you look over, again, the town of Vacan, very, very simple. One main road kind of fragmenting into different kind of alleyways and streets. No building more than 2 or 3 stories tall. All with like slanted, almost like thatched roofs. This is clearly a town where people come to relax. There are open markets here. There are taverns and inns there. But overall, a calmer, simpler place in this land of extravagance. And you watch as the local schoolhouse lets its doors open, and as the children begin running outside, you watch as children maybe as young as 8, as old as maybe 12 or 13 look over and they see a small pool of shiny, glimmering, and glowing objects with people kneeling down to collect them as these children begin rushing over to you as you are all then immediately swarmed by kids grabbing for all of these magical items alongside you.
Hello. Can I? No. I don't want to interrupt anybody.
These are the property of I turned to Blusseau. What is your name, sir?
Blusseau, Bumperdinger.
These are the property of Lord Bumperdinger. These are no mere playthings. Please, if you wish to gaze upon them, ask Sir Bumperdinger.
Can Hathor just put her hands on her knees to get down to eye level with them and be like, honey, can you give those back to the nice man?
Hathor, you kind of get down to do that, and you're able to see like a little girl holding the most like beautiful glowing scimitar you've ever seen, being like, you want me to give this back?
Yes.
Give me a persuasion check.
We gotta get into a combat encounter with these children.
Small child with a sword.
Guys, the stakes are
What
low.
I can do.
The stakes are low. Just kill kids. Easy.
Just kill kids.
Easy
That's
as pie.
gonna be a 17.
A 17 looks at you and goes, okay, and just hands you this like giant, this glowing, like pulsing blade.
I will ruffle her hair
Mhm.
and and be like, "Wonderful, thank you so much," and give it back to you.
She goes, "Your hair's pretty," and then just kind of like skips away down the main road.
Thank you.
Sherry is just kind of like standing there, very like stock statue still. These kids like running around, like again, hands on hilt, like these kids just running around. Cass, how do you react?
Just kind of looking on with vague disdain. Just they're so small and they're so sticky, and I don't want them to touch any of my possible new items.
And then
with their sticky hands.
And then Blur, how do you react?
I'm kind of just like, I'm kind of just standing there to myself, just like holding on to the things and thinking about like, dang, I don't like kids. I don't like interacting with kids. They don't know how to act. They don't know how to behave. They don't understand what existence is. And I'm just standing there to myself,
just stewing.
Yeah.
As you begin pulling all this stuff together, you guys are able to successfully retrieve either through intimidation, through intimidation of authority, or just like, simple pleases and thank yous, or the idea of being like, "You're gross, give me that." All of that. You guys are able to retrieve almost all of the magical items, armor, and weapons that were dropped by Blurso. You're able to get them deposited into like a nearby empty cart, currently being unused, simply like a wheelbarrow of the such. And as you're able to put them down there, you are then able to look them over. Blurso and everyone here, please give me a quick investigation or perception check with advantage.
While we're doing that, just to refresh my memory, these are all things that I'm just like carrying for him, right?
Yes.
Okay. That was a 10 on my end.
10?
Woo!
I got a natural 20.
Nat 20.
I also got a nat 20.
Nat 20, nat 20.
23.
23?
Yeah. Everybody but the person who was given the items
knows what these are.
So as you're like, your face is like totally over the bucket of item, like the wheelbarrow of items right now, just trying to make sure that everything is like in a line. And as we then look back over to Sherry, Hawthor, and Cass, as you guys kind of look around, you guys realize that in the main road of the town, you're able to see two young boys seemingly like running after each other, being like "Caw, caw," and like running after each other like with small little figurines, kind of like snapping at each other.
Oh no. So it's piss red birds.
Wait, sorry, two small boys.
Two small
running
boys
with what?
with some kind of like figurines in their hands, like running after each other, kind of like mockingly squawking at each other. Blurso, you know that these are the same birds that were just shrunken by Duke Bassett.
Wait, these kids have...
They have these little
chasing after the birds, or the kids have the birds?
They have the little figurines the birds were turned into.
Uh-huh.
I will...
Unsure what we'll do with the
Are they coming,
situation.
are they coming towards us? Or
No,
just...
they're running away from you.
I will with long gait run after them and kind of like stop them in their path, like get in front of them and like try to draw them short.
Okay, as you
I kind of just look at them for a second and I'm like, wait, how did they get those? And I'm like, oh wait, they stole them from me, and then I start running after them as well.
As you're running after them, Cass, what do you do?
Seeing everyone else run is just kind of like, okay, and Colin like walks after.
Walking after.
Fun.
And then Hawthor, what do you do?
I'll walk alongside Cassiano, also just to make sure he doesn't steal anything.
Got it, okay. So we have sprinting, walking, as the boy that is being chased spins around with the figurine and goes, "Rah!" and like lunges at his friend with the figurine. You guys are able to watch as the figurines tink, and as their beaks touch, you watch as...
No. Now kiss.
You watch as the figurines are quickly engulfed in a swirl of blue and green energy, as you then see full-sized cockatrices, again, piss red birds, immediately opposing each other, look past each other towards both of the kids. Everyone here give me a nature check.
Oh, jeez.
Sure.
You say?
Are these
Nat
Uh,
one.
Not
are
20.
these fey fiends or undead?
They're not. No, they're just
totally.
Okay.
ugly.
17.
17, 18,
Wow.
22, and I believe someone else got a natural 20.
22, and then you are all able to recognize that within the cockatrice family of the bird species, the uglier ones are usually the female ones, just the way that it kind of works within their species.
What are you trying to say, Drew? What are you trying to say?
And you're able to see
Women, am I
you're
right?
able to see that both of these, as their eyes go from white to blue to green to back to red, as they look past each other towards both of the kids, immediately these birds with maternal instincts imprint on the kids, rush towards either of the kids, pick up the kids with their beaks, like by their shirts, and begin to run around the center road of the town. And as these kids are taken up, you are able to watch as one of them begins to flap their skin bat wings and begins to take off towards the sky. I need everybody here to roll initiative.
Oh.
We have to kill these birds. Now, is this a Harambe moment?
Oh, fuck! It was almost an 18.
10 again.
I got an 8.
10, 18,
15.
15.
I'm gonna take this up to feet to run to the bathroom.
All good.
13.
10, 18, 15, and 13. And
No,
although...
no. I got an 18. I got an 8.
Oh, you got an 8? So 10,
I almost got a
13,
18.
10. Got it. And with all of those initiatives being rolled, there being just a little bit of chaos in the town of Vakon, even though Tony walked away, sadly, that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, are we all having a good time?
Yeah.
Yes!
Yes, and
Oh,
yes.
I love everyone's characters.
They're just, yes. Yes, welcome to Allatour, everybody. The vibes have changed.
Truly have changed.
I hope that was as fun for everybody watching and as fun for everybody playing as it was for me.
I had a great time. Oh my god.
Great time, great time. Moss, you look like you're shocked and appalled.
Ugh. Oh my god. That was beautiful. That was
I'm
beautiful.
so happy everybody liked that. Oh, I am
Time to kill some kids, guys.
I'm so...
Fuck.
We gotta save those
Fuck
birds!
them kids.
But
Was the initiative? It was Pavel. It was Cherie, and then was it Hawthor then, or was it Blorso?
It was Blurso than me. I rolled
Blorso,
an
then
8.
Hawthor.
So, wait, what did the birds get?
the birds currently, I will roll this right now. And keep me to this. The birds both got 13s.
13s.
So they'll go. What's their dex? They'll go either before or after me.
They're gonna go before you.
Ooh.
So it's Cass, birds, Sherry, Blorso, Hathor.
Yes, perfect.
I love the one who's a ranger who has a broom is going last.
But yes, I hope everybody had a wonderful time with that. Well, Allatour,
Freaking-lutely.
I thought of this country when I was drunk on pina coladas like a summer and a half ago or whatever, and
If you like pina coladas.
and I've wanted to do like and I have watched so much soap opera to prepare for this, and I have
Oh, hell yeah.
and I'm so excited to roll. And like I hope like in turn, and the most difficult part of anything is like getting the introductions to really work. And I think just the idea of just you guys just all like except for Sherry just being like goobers, just kind of like walking around trying to make shit work.
You did a fabulous job.
I'm very excited. And also LaCroix lore. Yes, you get to see.
LaCroix lore.
You get to see.
You are kissing the eldest child! Ah!
Yeah, this is the campaign where cheeks will be clapped. Like, oh yeah.
Instead of a kill count, we're gonna have a fuck count.
Yo, we're gonna
No.
wait, foot.
We're gonna have a body count for different reasons.
Yeah,
Different, exactly.
Oh, but yes, I hope, and of course, anyone that's watching that wanted to see this and see this like totally different like vibe shift, we deeply appreciate you. It's absolutely awesome. We're coming up on 25 subscribers, and it feels good that people are watching us. That's absolutely awesome. So thank you.
It's so lovely, like, and we hope you know if you're still around. Oh my god. Hello, listener. Hello, watcher. Hello, viewer. You're welcome here. Like, this is just a bunch of buds playing a game that they love very much, and everyone's welcome at this table, and we're so glad you're here.
Oh, absolutely.
Woo.
Yes, hype man!
Say, like,
Woo.
Yeah.
I thought you were just gonna say, like, you're welcome for the entertainment.
Yeah, exactly.
Pay me!
You're
Hey,
welcome
guys.
for providing a service.
Who was that one lady that was like $5 a month? That, like, do you guys know that lady on Twitch?
Yes, yes,
No.
She got,
yes.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
she
but I
got,
see the
she got
video.
clowned on
Very
for
good.
years.
Good.
Deserved.
What
Yes.
happened? What'd she do?
We're,
As
I
long
don't
as
know
it was
the
violent,
lore.
honest to God.
well, basically what she did was like she was like sitting like at her, she was like streaming, and there were people. She got mad for some reason that like people weren't donating or subscribing, and she was like, I can't imagine why people would watch and not subscribe. Like, if you don't have $5 a month to give to me, then you shouldn't be watching Twitch.
Ew.
And I just want to make this very
Ew.
clear: do not give us money. We just love
Give us
having
money,
you
give
guys
us money,
here.
give us money, give us money.
No, Tony.
Forbidden.
No, but
Forbade.
like, straight up, hey, just even just you watching us, if we're able to bring a smile to your face, that's really all we want to do. And also, just this is a very loving and wonderful group of friends, and we just want to share that love with everybody. So
Yeah.
You have ads turned on the YouTube videos though. We need to be.
Homie, do you think we're
We need to have
monetized?
You think we're monetized?
You think we're a YouTube partner?
Someone had sex in this game 45 minutes in. There's no.
I think
Yeah.
rulebook piss red optional is monetized.
I think we're advertiser friendly.
You think?
Yeah.
You think rulebook? I hand him a bunch of condoms.
Dude, NordVPN,
Optional.
reach out to us. We'll talk
Please.
about.
Please.
Now I'll give you some insight. I'll give you some
We're
insight.
on that. Come on.
I'll give you some insight on the lore.
Raid Shadow Legends. Give us that money.
Yeah, honestly, Reggie, Shaggy
Child
Leggy.
gambling. Let's go.
Yeah, on it. Yeah, do you know how,
DraftKings. Here we
do
come.
you know how fucking out of pocket it would be if like this is about to be like a D&D soap opera, like fucking up there, like theatrical production, and it's like, but first CS:GO cases, guys. We all know them. We all want them.
Merge Mansions is an
Merge.
mobile.
Your husband is alive.
Sounds new.
What is Grandma hiding?
Oh, and also, I'm definitely going to study up, like, because just so everyone kind of knows the structure of this game, the first 3 sessions, they're going to be a ton of fun, but it's going to be like, hey, if you guys want to make any tweaks to your characters or your backstory or whatever, feel free to do so. If you want to change to somebody else, absolutely. More of like a vibe test. Like, some things are going to be set up, but nothing too major. I want to give the opportunity for people to get out, but it also gives me time to study up on the fucking names. Jesus Christ. Everyone here did a lot of good work for the houses of Allatour, and I'm just gonna say this right now. I'm gonna pull them up in front of the class. Darby, the names are so long.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I need to.
They're perfect.
No, they're wonderful. I need to study them though, like, because I do not have them memorized, and I feel bad about that.
They gotta be long and stupid.
Yes.
Was the goal.
I just want to say my note taking got progressively more and more spotty until all I've written for Blur Salt, he's gonna be like, it's Blur So, and we're like, sure, Salty. But all I have for him is moving up in the world. And then there are
Basically what
tear
I had
marks
for him.
on the page from when I laughed so hard I cried.
Oh, hooray! Thank you.
Eventually, I got down that his name was Saint Pierre, but my first note on him was, I can't remember his name, but fuck this guy.
I wrote, but also sounds like a Billy Goat, lol.
and of course I'm not going to spoil anything, but the idea of I hope I captured the general idea where it was like for Tony moving up in the world, Sherry, a captain of the guard with very complicated relationships within the family, Hathor, just a traveling like cool person, just a traveling awesome dude.
Is that her mission trip? Is just fucking around?
Good vibes.
Fucking her way through the countryside, saving lot. Wait, what is it? Think that. Nope.
Think that I save lives.
Never mind.
Dude, I always thought
I'm
that
embarrassed.
D&D was just about, like, forcing your friends to be a therapist for you. I never realized that you could be the therapist for the NPCs. That could be the wish fulfillment. That's incredible.
It is my wish fulfillment. I was like, I could play a character
Hell yeah.
that's not emotionally stunted. Ha ha!
Yeah, and I am super excited, like, but just for this game, the idea of being like self-contained adventures, where it's like, you know, lower stakes. Now, will you guys kill people? Probably in this game, because that's just the way that it goes. But like the idea of it being like the world's gonna end if you guys don't solve this, it's like no, it's not gonna be that bad. It's just gonna be like this is gonna be a good time. But yes, in conjunction with Palm in the Fist, maybe happening the same amount, maybe less, maybe more. I really have no idea. We will figure it out.
Well, if you think about it, the Palm of Fist happens, like, where we are now is a month after the last festival, where, if you don't know, our wonderful, I'm mirrored, our wonderful, lovely Kate, did a one-shot for us off stream, and it was fucking amazing and incredible, and poor her, now we're all just like, so can we play again? And she's like, no!
No.
Because she has good
No.
boundaries. She has healthy boundaries.
She knows
I
her
love you
limits.
all, but I will not.
She's fucking incredible. She's amazing. But, you know, that's become like our de facto timestamp is how long ago was the fight.
Yes.
And so, listen, that means Cassiano went from the Arbor to Allatour in a month. I don't know if that's possible.
that's feasible.
Okay.
Doable.
He has not
Cool
had a lot
guy.
of time to kick his feet up, but yeah, it's doable.
My
Is
face.
Cassiano-
No, that is a travesty. for
Absolutely.
Mr.
His
Bell.
soft, delicate feet simply must be adorned with feathered pillows and the like,
Cass.
satin only.
Cass, I don't believe I've ever felt softer hands in my life. Even the sex workers in Kip Yup. You know.
Looks like I should feel my feet at this point.
Oh god.
They are known for their soft hands.
my
Golly.
my face hurts from smiling.
But ending on a smile, certainly. Everybody, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank
We
you.
deeply appreciate that, and we hope to see you next time in Allatour. Good night, everybody.
Wee wee.
Wee wee. Au revoir.
Salut.